Well, hello, everybody. My name is Bob Rombach. I'm the founder of the We Are Network, and we have something very, very special to bring you today. As you probably know, we have a guy from Grantsburg who is in a couple weeks going to play in the Super Bowl, and he's kind enough here on a Tuesday afternoon to join us and just chat a little bit about what's been going on in his life and what's happening in a couple of weeks. So, Leo Chenal, thank you so much for joining me here today. I am super excited to get to chat with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Well, first things first, the most important thing is, how's Randy doing?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
Well,
there. She's about 30, about 30 weeks, 31 weeks this Thursday. So she's doing good, man. She's coming along.
that's awesome. So, your life, man, it's just all sorts of things happening. So, very cool. So, seriously, how does it even feel? This is kind of the requisite question for everybody going to the Super Bowl, I think. But how does it feel to be heading to the Super Bowl as a rookie on the Chiefs?
It's definitely surreal. Just coming in and being in my first year, man, I was so shocked, when Harrison made that field goal. I was in shock. I didn't I was starting to tear up a little bit, and then I was like kind of freaking out, and I still had to run down on kickoff. I'm just like, my head's going like, okay, I just got to tackle this guy. Somebody's just got to get him down, and we're going. But just sitting back and thinking about it, it's crazy. It's like the top of the top of football, and definitely trying to take it in every moment.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. So what's it been like from Sunday after the win on? What is it? Is it just been a whirlwind for you, or is it business as usual, or how's it been?
It is a little different. We had to come in for a team meeting. We actually get today and tomorrow off. Optional lift recovery. But yesterday we came in for a team meeting, just explaining, everything that's going on. And, there's a lot of moving parts to it and a lot of stuff that changes, and we got to be aware of. But, just starting, what is it? Thursday, it's just business as usual,
Wow.
We just get all the details down, get all the stress out of the way of, the added stuff and, business as usual.
Do you know when you guys are heading down?
Yeah, Sunday.
You are going Sunday. Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about your year here as a rookie linebacker drafted in the third round, coming in, making a whole bunch of starts, playing a ton on special teams. What has your role been here for the Chiefs as a rookie?
It's not necessarily as big as I wanted it to be. I definitely think it's a process. I can't really expect, the world, my first year. Definitely do your best, but special teams is a huge deal too, and I've been a contributor there and just trying to do my best. It's been a while since I just played all special teams, like my freshman year of college. Just special teams, and it's just getting down every detail, doing the best the best I can do what I'm asked to do. Is kind of like the role I'm in right now. And around 25% of the defensive snaps, and then playing almost all of the special team snaps. Again, I'm just trying to perfect what I'm asked to do.
That's awesome. So you kind of touched on this, but what have the expectations? What were your expectations going into the NFL, and have they been met, or what has been different about what you did expect on draft day and beyond?
I definitely didn't have anything down 100%, what to expect. I definitely was hoping to get, more opportunity at the off ball, Buck or Mike linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
But it just didn't work out that way. And, there's always room for that in the future. But right now, we're headed to a Super Bowl, and, I wouldn't trade that for anything,
Yeah. Yeah, that's fantastic. And you have been a contributor. I mean, special teams, anytime you want to find Leo, you just look around the ball. He's either making the tackle or right around it, throwing a key block on a kick return. You've been all over the place, and it's been really fun to watch you. And I don't know if people understand how big of a deal special teams are, and that you were out there for basically everything is pretty awesome. So good for you. And 25% of the defensive snaps. I mean, your rookie class for the Chiefs has been phenomenal, like incredibly important to the run here. Obviously, Mahomes and Travis Kelce get all the headlines, but dang, your defense really stepped up in that rookie class, a big part of it.
Oh man, yeah, I can't emphasize that enough. You got Josh Williams, Jalen Watson, Trent McDuffie, George Kalafdis, those guys on defense, Brian Cook, you got all those guys on defense, and seeing like the performance, they've put up, all they've done, Pacheco on offense, Sky,
Yeah.
It's crazy. You don't see that often. Like we got almost half our special teams guys alone are rookies, and you really don't see that often with starters on defense, offense, especially that team going to a Super Bowl. It's pretty rare. Kind of a testament to our GM and stuff like that. But all those guys working hard, working their butts off, get everything down, the playbook down. It's a long season, and just keeping that energy high no matter what.
Yeah, it is a testament to your GM. Is it Veach? Veach's last name.
Yep.
He hit basically on 9 out of 10. I mean, any football fan would be very excited if their GM hit 9 out of 10 on the rookie class. So, and that's important because obviously, there's a salary cap type of thing, and you've got to have young guys come in and contribute. So, very cool. Let's switch just a little bit. Well, actually, let's stay on the defense really quick. I have a question about who kind of sets the tone on the defensive side of the ball. I'm just interested.
Who sets the tone? I mean,
leadership style and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would like, by energy wise, like, I'm always going to be up there with energy. Like, I'm bringing energy no matter what, whether I'm the main contributor or not. But you got Willie Gay is like a huge energy guy, and a lot of people respect him, the energy he brings. But in terms of just like all around like leader, I think Nick Bolton. And you can tell I'm a little biased here with just picking linebackers.
A lot of linebackers, yeah.
But Nick Bolton, he's leading the defense. He's the quarterback of the defense. Second year guy who, you got free agents coming in. It's like you tell him he's a second year guy, and they're like, "What? No way!" Like you think he's a veteran in the room. He knows the defense inside and out. He's making all the plays, doing everything right. So he's definitely someone I look up to.
That's awesome. The linebacker room sticking together. Love it. Let's talk a little bit about where you came from and kind of your journey along the way to get to the NFL. Started here in Grantsburg in high school, became a superstar high school player, offensive, defensive player of the year in Wisconsin, Gatorade player of the year. So can you kind of take us from your high school days here in Grantsburg through Wisconsin and into the NFL up to kind of draft day? What's that journey been like for you?
Just thinking back on it, it's just like being in the moment. Like I never once thought about like, oh man, like I always dreamed about it, but never thought like, okay, this is actually real. Like it's like a goofy, like awkward, like freshman coming in and like meeting all these new dudes, like the Schultz family, kind of bringing me and John in under their wing and stuff like that. And just like a whole community, just kind of welcoming us with open arms. But yeah, just going through it, and it was a great time being able to play with my brothers, especially. But yeah, it's time definitely flew by, and I definitely, didn't get really a serious look, at colleges until we actually started going to camps, and Coach Hale started reaching out and helping us out like that. But yeah, it's definitely took it one day at a time, and it's definitely flown by.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I remember you went to the Badgers camp, and basically, did they offer you within a week or something, or how did that go?
I want to think. Yeah, we went to the Badgers camp, and then I think it was like they said we want to see you like after like 3 games of your junior year, then we'll decide. And I think it was after the Webster game of my junior year. They called me up and they offered me.
That's awesome. And it took you like 45 minutes to accept.
Yeah, just about. And there's kind of like a pride thing where it's like, okay, I want to be the first commit too. So I literally I was going to commit right on the spot, but my family was like, okay, maybe you should wait up a little bit. So I agreed. I waited a day, and then I committed. So.
Wow, way to be Way to play him. Way to string him along, Leo. No, and you
Oh
had
yeah.
a fantastic career at Wisconsin, finishing All-American by the end of your career. Left early as a junior, and I think you had like 2 years eligibility left with the COVID year, but decided to take the jump into the pros. You were selected in the third round. Everybody made mistakes on not taking you, including the 2 teams that are represented in this area. They both took linebackers ahead of you, and you just, when you play them, you must make them pay. Okay? So what was it like sitting there? Go ahead.
The 2 teams that are sitting home right now. I'm just kidding. No, got to make fun of it.
You should. So, do you have a chip on your shoulder for being selected in the third round? I saw more than one mock draft having you as a first-round talent. Does that bother you still, or are you happy with how everything has transpired? Or
right after the draft, you asked me. It definitely would bother me. Mm-hmm. Obviously, every guy wants to go as high as possible, the first round of your hometown team, stuff like that, and it definitely hurt me. But looking back on it, there's no place I'd rather be. My teammates, coaches, like the area I live in, like everything down to it, the success we have, like it's all of it together. I don't have any regrets, and I'm really blessed to be able to be in the position I am.
Yeah, that's awesome, and we're all glad to hear that it kind of worked out the way it should. And I mean, you're going to a Super Bowl, so it's going to be tough to complain, I suppose. But okay, I have a question, kind of football adjacent, NFL adjacent, because I like to collect memorabilia. I like to collect cards. My kids like to collect cards, so we bought a few of your cards, of course, and I have a couple here. Let's see if I can. You can't really see, but these are a couple signature cards. And my question to you is, how does that whole system work? Do they just kind of sit you down at a card table and put a whole bunch of cards and have you sign stuff, or I'm just really curious on how that whole thing works.
Yeah, so basically, your agency is working for you. They're trying to reach out any opportunity you can get, and these trading card companies reach out. And they ask me, like, hey, do you want to accept this deal with this trading card company? They'll send you this many cards for this, this much per card. So basically, they just send it to me in Arizona while I was training, and I would just sit there and sign them. Like you sign like the stickers, individually, like anywhere from 25 to 50 stickers on a page. So you're like, boom, boom, boom. I'd sit there for probably like sometimes 5 hours straight, just trying to knock them out and stuff. But it was definitely a little grind there, but it's pretty smooth. Like the way they make it, it's just like a bunch of stickers on a page, and you just knock it out like that, and you put it in the box and send it right back.
That's awesome. Yeah, this one here is a sticker. This one here is right on the card. I would imagine it's a similar process of just taking a stack of cards and signing, unless there is I don't know, maybe it's just a really good sticker. So how if people want to get stuff signed from you, memorabilia or whatnot, are you able to do that? And if you can, what's like the process of doing something like that?
Man, I don't really know the best way. Like I'll eventually, like, in Grantsburg, like have some sort of signing or something, for the community, or some sort of give back or something like that. I don't have anything planned out right now, like specifically, but there'll definitely be something in the future.
Perfect. And we will let people know when that comes around. Let's see. Let's go back to the Chiefs here. Travis Kelce seems like a hilarious guy. And I'm sure as a linebacker, you must go against him every day in practice. You must have gotten to know him pretty well this season. So do you have any Travis Kelce stories that you can tell us that might give us an insight into him a little bit more?
Yeah, I'm trying to think, but like he is such a funny dude. Like just you bringing up his name, it just makes me smile, because you got a lot of guys that in the league, they don't show up for OTAs and stuff, but he's out in OTAs, the optional OTAs, bringing like high energy all the time, just screaming like let's go baby. And it's like he brings the energy every single day. He's hilarious. you jabroni.
Jabroni. Gosh, that was epic.
I made that word up. Like it made me laugh so bad, but it was pretty funny. But no, he's just someone like you got to look up to. Just like as a player, like he's such a smooth route runner. Just like that, boom, like at the top of the route, boom, he's gone. And then like on top of that, his personality, it's pretty cool. And you're out here in like it's not as cold as up there right now, but like you're out here in like 20-degree weather practicing, and he's one of those guys like no sleeves, just like shorts on, and so he's along with me, I have to represent the state still.
There you go.
but no, he's definitely someone I look up to as well. He's a character.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. He's always been one of my favorites since he got in the league. Just is so good. I mean, he's the best tight end. I don't think anybody can argue that. And just his personality on top of it. His podcast with his brother is just phenomenal. So anyway, this isn't supposed to be the Travis Kelce admiration show. So let's move on. I actually reached out to a few people and asked them. I told them I'd be interviewing you, and said if you could ask him anything, what would you like to ask him? So do you mind if I read a few things here?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go with this. All right, my buddy Dan wants to know the best play you made against Patrick Mahomes in practice.
Oof, man, against Patrick. Yeah, we don't get a lot of like one-on-one type stuff. It's like during this, but I do like scout team. Like as a rookie, you gotta do scout team and stuff, and you gotta like pull up whenever you could catch the ball and stuff. But I've definitely had a few of those where it'd be an interception and stuff, but they don't let you do that as like a scout team guy. But so I can't really. Oh, I would have done this. I can't really brag about any of that.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah,
we'll ask you every year once you get full first team defense and see how that goes. All right, a guy named Goob would like to know: was there a moment in your life that made you think I could make football my career?
Who's that? A guy named Goob?
Oh, you might know him as Gary or yeah.
Man, I wouldn't say really until after my sophomore year at college. Just after that Minnesota game, really, I kind of just like let loose and really like got comfortable, and going to the off season my junior year, I really thought like I could do this, and just talking over with my now wife, it was a possibility, and I didn't really like truly believe in myself until after that.
Wow, that's amazing. You made it on scholarship to a Division I Power 5 school, and you still weren't completely sure of yourself. I mean, that's actually kind of a good message, because a lot of kids probably don't know if they're good enough or anything. So that's cool. I remember I didn't interview you. I had 3 sixth graders at the time interview you and John and Luke Anderson. Do you remember that at all?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Okay. And I remember one of the kids asked you, if you're going to go play I think it was Alex actually asked you if you're going to go play in the NFL. And you were a junior at the time, and you're like, I'm just focused on high school football right now. So, but we were all believing in you at that point. So it's nice that you caught up to everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was definitely not thinking of much.
That's awesome.
But no, time has flown by.
Yeah. Todd says the first thing he wants to say is, Leo, we in Luck are so happy for you, and he wishes you luck in 2 weeks. I'm not sure if that's a pun or not, but I know how much you like puns, so we'll say, yeah, that was a pun. He also wants to ask you, for young athletes, what can you say helped you in becoming the student, community member, and athlete that you are today? Tough question.
Yeah, geez, put me on the spot. No, I mean, I would say just have like a strong, moral standing. Like for me, it was in the faith. Let that guide you throughout your life. If I ever had a question in life, I go back to, my faith, like what would Jesus do really? I had a lot of good mentors in my life, my mom, my older brothers, my dad, So I definitely just like lean on that for whenever I have questions and stuff, and always looking for people to learn from. In different areas of your life, always ask questions because we're never going to know it all. And always take notes of it because it's easy to forget, especially playing football. You get hit in the head, forget something on the spot. But no, always ask questions. My main takeaway.
That is a great takeaway. Asking questions, mentorship is huge. Who has kind of mentored you at the Chiefs?
Oh man, I would probably say Nick Bolton. He's only a year older than me, really like closer than that if you go by days and stuff like that. But he's such a mature dude. I've just learned a lot from him. He's really smart, really like wise in that area already for how young he is, for sure.
Yeah, great. That's awesome. All right, next one. All right, Coach Hale wants to know who you formed a bond with on the team. You can't say Nick Bolton now.
Oh.
That could be it.
And now I can't say my brother either. Come on, like I used to like when I went to Wisconsin. Oh yeah, John. It was an easy answer next.
Yeah.
Who have I formed a bond with? Oh man, all the linebackers really. I really like Willie. He's a really funny dude. Like I said earlier, like he's always bringing the energy, the juice, always joking around with him. I have a close bond with everybody, but Willie's always bringing the energy.
All right, awesome. Let's see. Okay, Stacy wants to know, that's Gary's wife, wants to know what is something unique that nobody would expect about the NFL?
Oof, man. I think I told Coach Hale this already. I think he had like a presentation, but I think it's a lot more. I want to say laid back, but I don't know if that's the right word. It's definitely not as much of a huge grind and taxing as you would think it is, like compared to like college and stuff, especially with the NFLPA. Like I learned that like the first thing the NFLPA, like the players argued for, like when it was first founded, was just being able the right to like wash their laundry, something like that. But it's come a long way. We're definitely looked out for, in terms of practices and stuff. We're only allowed I think like 14 to 16 pad practices in the season.
Wow.
Stuff like that, and like all the things that the NFLPA offers is like it's crazy. All the doors that it's open for me, but yeah, it's definitely we're treated like coworkers, we're treated like adults and professionals. Obviously you respect coaches, what they say, and but it's definitely more of like a co-worker type vibe, I feel like.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that is kind of surprising. Especially, most of us obviously don't get to that level, and we're used to the coach-player dynamic, and it's kind of more like, in some ways, military, hierarchy and all that kind of stuff. So that's an interesting insight. Are there any kind of perks that surprised you? This is my question. I like perks that, like free candy bars or something. I don't know, like stuff like that. Anything like that surprised you?
Just in terms of like I want to say supplements and stuff in college, they had like a rule they couldn't offer like caffeine or creatine. So I've definitely kind of like taken advantage of like grabbing like a few like Celsiuses and stuff. I kind of got big at Celsius now, and taking the creatine they supply there. And then this summer is like they're hooking up with like free Taylor Swift like tickets and stuff like that.
Okay.
at which is it's kind of cool. Going with my wife there, I hope. But there's like stuff all over the place, like here and there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, cool. Let's see. Okay, next one. So Adam Hefty is the biggest Badgers fan that I know, and he wants to know how playing for Wisconsin helped you prepare for the NFL.
Yeah, Wisconsin, like they're saying, is smart, tough, and dependable. So I definitely they engraved it in me. Like my position coach at Wisconsin, Coach Bostad. He was kind of like the military thing, like the military style coaching you're talking about. So he definitely built that toughness in us. Early meetings, long meetings, extra time on the field, extra time studying, just going back and forth like that. And I kind of attribute a lot of it to him, for sure.
Awesome. And what is it with linebackers from Wisconsin? They're all in the NFL, it seems like, and you're playing against one, right? For the Super Bowl, isn't there Edwards? Doesn't he play? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think, as a defense, Wisconsin is always up there. And then, linebackers are kind of the quarterbacks of the defense. And, kind of, you look at like, okay, who's causing the success? It's everyone, but, linebackers have been a part of it. And, TJ Edwards, man, I was angry for him. Like, he went undrafted, and just looking at his film and his success, I was baffled how he went undrafted, and especially the success he's having now in the league. It's kind of showing, hey, why'd you guys do that?
Right. Another undrafted guy, I know you're good friends with, Jack Sanborn, had an awesome season with the Bears. So it doesn't always matter where you're taken in the draft. As long as you get a chance, you have a chance.
Yeah, for sure. And, Sanborn's another one of those cases, like you said, like, dude, like, how do you miss that? And he had I think his first game starting or second game starting, he had like a 2-sack game, and he just like took off right from there, became a town legend.
Yeah. That was fun to see. It was fun to see him excel. Couple left. I reached out to your brother John. He said he wasn't great about the questions, but he just wants to know about the surrealness of everything that's surrounding this. Can you speak on, kind of the whirlwind, the surrealness, or is it kind of set in now?
Are you talking about the Super Bowl, or?
Yeah, I think let's talk about the Super Bowl. Yeah. I
mean, yeah, all of it is kind of crazy. I still feel like I'm in kind of like shock mode right now. It's like it's like the weeks. There's so many weeks. Like, it's counting preseason. Like, how many games is that? It's like around like 20 games, 22 games.
Wow, yeah.
So, it's just like kind of like rolling into the next week, but at the same time, like, you got to step back and realize, like, dude, this is the opportunity. Like, you've been waiting your whole life, and it's coming my first year, which is even more crazy, more blessed even for that. So, yeah, I'm just trying to take it all in right now, and then get to the point where I can treat it like, okay, this is just another business week as usual, and just try to get locked in.
Well, I think about what you have been going through, and everybody, whether you're a pro football player or just anybody in life, you have things happen, but like all these things seem like positives to me. But you get drafted, you move, you have a move in there. You've got to move to Kansas City. You've got all the things that come as a rookie. Your wife gets pregnant, and you're going to the Super Bowl. I mean, all of this in less than a calendar year. It's insane. It's nuts how much is going on for you.
Oh man, it is really crazy. That rookie year especially, and then on top of that, getting married, and then
getting married, yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of that, like basically nonstop a whole year. Rookie year is definitely definitely a tough thing. Even though all those things are positive things, like, it definitely like builds up, and you're like, after season, it's just like, okay, I'm gonna go take a break now a little bit.
Yeah, imagine how easy next year is gonna be for you.
Man, I'll definitely be prepared now.
Yeah, well, just kidding, because you're gonna have a newborn. So, welcome to the party, pal.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Last thing I wanted to ask you, I kind of want to just give you the floor. Is there any message that you want to give Grantsburg and really this area? We're all so excited for you. We're all your biggest fans, and this is an opportunity. I mean, to say something to these people who are rooting for you. Can't wait to watch you on Super Bowl Sunday. Anything you want to say?
I just want to say thank you so much for the support. Like, I see everything. I see it all. And, I sometimes get overwhelmed with like the social media and seeing everything, but like, it means so much just being able to see that from the community, and like everybody coming together, and all the positive news, or all the positive stuff I'm seeing. It really means a lot. I can't ask for any more. It's pretty special.
Yeah, we do live in a special place. All of this entire area, we root for one another. We're rivals, of course, but when one does well, feels like we all do well. So yeah, we're very proud of you, Leo. You've handled yourself so well. This interview was awesome. Thanks for taking the time for us up here, and man, we wish you the very best this Sunday, and make sure you send Randy our love, and make sure you give a little pat to the little one for us, okay?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. It's been good.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Leo, and we'll talk to you soon.